Have you ever wondered why change is so difficult? We set this goal. We set this goal to change our health, to achieve this fitness level, to lose this amount of weight, and nothing happens. Has that happened to you before? Have you ever wondered why? Would you like to know, hey, there's a tool that can help me actually implement this change? I know I've thought those very things before, and I've been very grateful and very thankful that this tool was passed on to me. And so let's pass it to you so now you can finally see the change that you want to see in your life. And so we have a certain result that we're after. Whether that's weight change, new diet, this thing with family that you want to see happen, this vacation, this career, this promotion. So we want this result. And typically what we do is we say, well, to get this new result, I'll need to do this certain action. And if I do this action enough, I'll get that result. And so we tend to make a plan from result to action. And we've all done this. I've done this many, many times. I made a plan that has all these actions. I detail the steps of that plan. I implement it. I schedule it. And it may happen for a day, it may happen for a couple of days, may even happen for a week. But really, it's not enough to get to the results that I need. And so the reason why that is I'm forgetting about or not having awareness of what actually is driving my actions. Who really is in control? So in our thinking center up here, where we perceive the world, where we're imagining, where we're creating these plans, where we're kind of operating on a day-to-day basis, this is in our brain. Our brain has two different halves. It has our conscious and our subconscious brain. So our conscious brain is where our thoughts are, and our subconscious brain is where our feelings, habits, and conditioning is located. And so because there's so much going on in our world, we start to just do things because that's how we've done them before, and we tend to stop thinking about them. I'll give you an example of driving. When you're driving to work or driving home, you don't consciously think about every turn, how much pressure you're going to put on the brake, how much pressure you're going to put on the gas, what speed you need to go, what you need to do at this intersection, and what you're going to do if this light comes up, what lane you're going to get in. You just start to do that because you start to figure it out, and then you divert that back to your subconscious, and then that just kind of drives your actions. And so that's what people need to realize is it's not just what we're thinking about in our conscious brain that determines our actions. Our actions are actually a result from our subconscious programming, what we've done, because that's the way we've done it for long periods of time. And so how we feel, our habits, and our conditioning. And so if we want to get our new thoughts into our subconscious brain to drive new actions, we need to do certain things. Because our results over here, what we've been experiencing, the results we've achieved, the weight we're carrying, the fitness level we have, all drives our reality. And then our reality, through our senses, drives back into our thinking. And so you can kind of see this cycle going on here. And until we change this is where we can start with our thoughts, because if we have X currently, if we have this result, this reality, but we want this down here, we need to change how we're thinking right now. And so our thoughts can then go through this trap door to our subconscious brain, and then we're going to get new actions. But we've had these thoughts before and they haven't gotten through. So how can we charge these thoughts with enough power to start to change our subconscious behaviors? One of the most powerful tools is affirmations, because we have to remember that this is decades and years of programming and thinking. We can't just change it in 1 hour or in 1 minute sometimes, or just, hey, I can't change my diet just by becoming aware of a new beneficial diet. I have to really drive home the thought of what that's going to mean. And so one of the first tools is affirmations. Affirmations is really thoughts on repetition. And so you're affirming this thought into your subconscious brain with a lot of repetition, because there's already habits set in here. And so for you to set a new habit, you have to really, really affirm it. You have to consciously think about it for a long period of time, over and over and over again, to really get that through into your subconscious. Things that you can add to your affirmations and add to your thinking is emotion. Because this is actually where we kind of feel a little bit more. And so this is more the reason, intellect, but this is where how we feel about what's going on is really rooted. And so if we can start to charge our thinking with emotion, that's what's really going to power this through. Because then we can start to we can use our faculties of the mind. We can start to really think more powerfully, and then that's going to drive it home. Just think of throwing the ripple effect of throwing a small pebble into a pool. You're going to throw it in, it's going to create a little wave. And so if we just have one thought, we're going to throw that in, and it's just a little wave. It's not really going to affect anything. But if you start to add some emotion to that, you're throwing in bigger rocks, you're creating bigger waves, you're going to create bigger change. And so the tool that we can use to do this is our imagination. And this is kind of one of the most powerful things we can do to recharge our thoughts to get new actions. So we actually need to, I'll take you through a full example. So say we want this result, we want this health change. And so you want to lose X amount of pounds, you want to have this back pain go away, this knee pain go away, you want to have your digestion improve, you just want your overall level of health and consciousness to rise. So you want that result. And then you come up with a plan of action to do said things. Maybe it's you can go to the chiropractor, finally get that nerve power flowing through your body so you can have an operate off of full life force coming down that spine. You come up with a fitness plan. I'm going to go to the gym on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and Saturday. I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and then I'll have time with family. And so you come up with this really detailed plan. But what we need to do up here in our thinking about that plan is how is that going to make us feel? And we can use our imagination to do that. How is you having that pain be diminished going to impact your relationship with your spouse? If you're not consciously thinking about, it's like, oh, I have a headache, or oh, I have this little back pain. If that's not at the forefront of your mind, what does that free you up to do? How does that give you more empathy for your children? Because you're not bogged down by this yourself. What would that do to how would that feel to be able to put on your old pair of jeans again? To be able to get back into your favorite suit, or that awesome dress that we wore on that one date night. If I could get back into that, what would that feel like? Could you imagine that, just sliding into those trousers or sliding that dress on, being able to zip it up comfortably? Could you imagine that feeling? That's like, oh, I'm back in this. Isn't that so cool? If you can imagine those feelings and the emotion that goes with them, if you can imagine how this better version of yourself would have more energy at the end of the day to kind of give to your kids more, to give to your spouse more, to have more drive for that work career change that you want. If you can imagine those things, they can become real. And when we do that, we really start to reaffirm our subconscious brain about what's going on, what we want to do. And that is really going to drive new actions. The actions are going to start to change the results that we're after. And those results are going to start to reshape the reality that we're in. And then that is going to reaffirm the thinking that we've done. And then we're going to start to see this cycle change. And so this is a really powerful tool. If you have any more questions over it, just give me a call. My name is Dr. Darby Campbell. I'd love to help you with it.